Nothing was normal about the goblin shark. And I don't mean it looks weird normal. Plenty of animals look weird. I mean something deeper, something unsettling in a way that doesn't fully translate through photos or documentaries. The kind of wrong that makes your brain hesitate before deciding whether it's afraid or just confused. If you've only seen images, you might think the internet is exaggerating. Pink skin, a sagging face, a nose so long it looks like it grew out of obligation rather than intention. It doesn't look like a predator. It looks like something evolution meant to revisit and never did. That reaction, confusion before fear, is exactly why the goblin shark survives. Because the deep sea doesn't reward intimidation. It rewards efficiency. Hundreds of meters below the surface, light disappears first, then color, then urgency. Sound feels muffled, movement slows. Time stretches until even hunger learns patience. That's where the goblin shark lives, and nothing about it is built for a world we recognize. Most sharks are streamlined, tense, muscular, built like animals that expect resistance. The goblin shark isn't. Its body is loose, almost soft, like it's slightly unfinished. Its skin hangs without tension. Its movements feel lazy, even indifferent. That softness isn't decay, it's economy. Muscle costs energy. Speed costs energy. In a place where food might not appear for days or weeks, wasting energy isn't brave, it's fatal. So the goblin shark doesn't chase, it doesn't rush, it barely reacts at all. It drifts. And that long, absurd snout, the one that looks so impractical at the surface, is packed with electroreceptors, sensors that can detect the faint electrical signals produced by living things. Heartbeats, muscle contractions, nerves firing. You don't need eyesight when you can feel life leaking into the water. Something nearby moves. Not fast, just enough. A fish, a squid, a body that hasn't learned the rules yet. The goblin shark doesn't turn sharply. It doesn't lunge. It aligns itself slowly, almost casually, like it's deciding whether this is worth the effort. Then it happens. The jaw doesn't open. It launches. In a fraction of a second, the goblin shark's jaws shoot forward out of its skull, snapping shut like a trap designed by someone who hates hesitation. Thin, needle-like teeth impale the prey, and the entire mechanism retracts just as fast. No chase, no struggle, no spectacle, just presence, followed by absence. If you blink, you miss it. If you're the prey, you never even get the blink. That jaw mechanism is one of the most extreme feeding adaptations ever recorded in a vertebrate animal. It looks unnatural because it is, by surface standards. But in the deep sea, it's perfect. Because killing fast down there isn't about violence. It's about not wasting calories. Fossils of goblin shark ancestors go back tens of millions of years. While oceans warmed and cooled, while entire ecosystems collapsed and rebuilt themselves, this design survived. Not because it dominated everything around it, but because it waited longer than everything else. That kind of survival changes you. Most predators broadcast intention, posture, tension, threat. The goblin shark doesn't. It doesn't warn. It doesn't signal. It doesn't perform. It simply exists until something crosses an invisible line. There's something deeply uncomfortable about a predator that doesn't appear emotionally involved in killing. No adrenaline, no frenzy, just cause and effect, executed without urgency. Down there, morality doesn't survive pressure. And here's where people misunderstand it. The goblin shark isn't a living fossil because it failed to evolve. It's one because this form still works, perfectly, in a place that doesn't care how things look to us. Most goblin sharks we study were never meant to be studied at all. They're dragged to the surface accidentally, pulled into a world their bodies aren't designed to survive. Pressure loss warps their shape, their skin slackens, their color changes. So the creature you see in photos? That's already a compromised version. Imagine judging a human based on how they look in a vacuum chamber. The goblin shark isn't ugly, it's out of context. And context is everything in the deep sea. Because the deeper you go, the less life seems interested in being seen. No colors for display, no speed for spectacle, no beauty meant for admiration, only function layered on function until nothing extra remains. That's why the goblin shark unsettles people. Not because it's aggressive. There are no confirmed attacks on humans, not because it's violent, but because it doesn't acknowledge us at all. We aren't prey, we aren't threats, we're just noise, and that should be comforting. Except for one thing, the goblin shark isn't alone down there. It's part of a pattern where predators don't chase, they wait. Where survival isn't loud or dramatic, but patient and exact. In the deep sea, hunger isn't dramatic. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't scream. It just waits. Every movement down there is a negotiation with scarcity. Every twitch of muscle costs something you might not be able to replace for days. That's why most deep-sea predators don't look aggressive. Aggression burns fuel. Panic wastes time. So evolution stripped it away. What you're left with is behavior that feels cold, almost indifferent. The goblin shark doesn't kill because it wants to. It kills because the math works out in its favor. One strike, one success, minimal loss, and even that strike is carefully measured. The jaw doesn't launch unless the probability is high. Too far, and it waits. Too uncertain, and it drifts past. Missed attempts aren't heroic failures down there. They're fatal mistakes. This is why the goblin shark looks so detached. There's no excess emotion in its movement, no visible tension, no buildup we recognize. It doesn't prepare the way surface predators do. It simply aligns itself with the problem and removes it. That detachment messes with us. We like predators that feel alive in familiar ways, eyes locked, muscles coiled, bodies screaming in tension. The goblin shark offers none of that. It feels mechanical, transactional, like a process instead of an animal. But that's only because we're projecting surface rules onto a place that doesn't use them. Down there, survival isn't a story, it's a routine. The goblin shark doesn't dominate its environment. It doesn't control it. It cooperates with it. Slow metabolism, soft tissue, a strike that ends things before energy can be wasted on chaos. It's not terrifying because it's violent. It's terrifying because it's efficient. So if this pulled you in, hit like. And if you want to keep going deeper, subscribe. And if the goblin shark feels like a mistake evolution forgot to fix, what comes next feels like something evolution never meant to explain.